right now, just waiting on the high ground, just taking the safe option here on the side of Inside Joke, waiting for them to push in. Diva going on to the roof barrier, the Discord Orb X gets a double kill very quickly.
Ridiculous. Yeah, Diva and Genji just combining for so much damage there. And I've told you, Ultimate Web, he's the Genji, and now that Zenyatta's back, he's an even better one because Genji and a Zenyatta go together quite well. They did train together in Nepal. We know this as part of the lore, so it totally makes sense that the Omnic and the Cyborg go together. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, he played 300 plus hours of Genji across beta. I know it for a fact.
That's insane. Well, very, very comfortable play. He's going to be going deep, actually, well beyond the point. Has that Dragon Blade. And, you know, the first payload checkpoints are been grabbed. The Diva can actually scout, get eyes on for him. He now knows exactly where they are, but he's still holding on to that Dragon Blade.
Yeah, he's going to wait until he actually gets to the back line. There is an enemy Diva in play as well. That's the only thing that might screw up Genji just a little bit, but basically just body blocking and getting in the way of the healers. So he's going to wait, try and draw that Diva out first before actually popping the Dragon Blade. I know it sounds weird, but a Diva with like her ramming and stuff like that can actually outlive a Genji. Yeah, so it's just a big obstacle that he'd rather not have to deal with. Now it looks like he might have a good opportunity as Diva's up on the roof, but no, that's a res coming out for the side of the defense, so they're basically back to square one. McCree is always a good target though. He does see the soft McCree off by himself, so he's going to go straight for him. Also with the Zenyatta Discord Orb, should be able to slice through him, but can't quite through the Transcendence. Eventually gets that benefit there of Zenyatta going out of line of sight, but Exion and ZZA both going down now. Defense reeling a little bit. That Discord Orb onto Roadhog, also another reason that Roadhog's stock has dropped a little bit, just the fact Zenyatta's Discord Orbs are going to be more prevalent, and Roadhog doesn't have a barrier to prevent eating that orb all the time.
Yeah, alright, Endless in the back actually doing a good job keeping Roadhog alive though with that orb. Now we do see Xe is very low, out of her mech. She is in the pilot form and quite vulnerable, but we do see the beat being dropped. Sound Bear goes in. The Deadeye picking up just the one kill on Jolson, and ZZA still standing strong.
Yeah, we also had a Death Blossom come out from the Reaper Exion, but Ultimate Web with a nice deflect timing managed to stay alive long enough to get out of there himself. He's actually still just hopping around trying to find these healers. There's Mercy. The sword is out, uses the second dash. The dash reset from using the ult allows him to get the kill on Mercy. Now he's got another dash in the pocket, ready to go. Goes for that Zenyatta. Actually, a Psycho Waffle that's going to go down. Ultimately, Xe goes down as well, the attacking Diva. So finally some signs of life here from Inside Joke, really holding them on this corner.
Yeah, the Transcendence unfortunately was a little bit late. They possibly could have saved Godhand there, but it looks like they are holding on, and Godhand will have that resurrection for the next defense. Everyone on the side of the offense, very grouping right now. We see One Shot just kind of trying to get ready. They do have, actually, Ultimate Whip swapping over to Reaper from the Genji. I think he had about 30% on his Ultimate. Not a lot to throw away.
Yeah, he had just used it. Yeah, he killed the enemy Mercy and made Zen pop his Transcendence, so he got pretty good value out of it. Now onto Reaper makes sense for this last point. Again, if you're having trouble breaking a choke, Reaper can definitely sit on the payload and help mow the yard, basically. But there's the Graviton Surge Diva ult combination. Does get a little bit of value, at least killing off that mecha suit, and everyone else able to kind of clean up the scattering vestiges of the defense. Xe does manage to get his suit back in time as well, and it looks like most of the defense has fallen. Xe immediately flying with that Diva suit toward the enemy spawn, going to be watching that door as the payload takes its time to reach that checkpoint. Now they have secured it. It's going to take a little bit for those doors to open and the card to start moving, so Diva's totally fine up here still, getting a view of everybody. Now sees that the entire enemy team has come out through that right spawn, can communicate that back to the team, and they can try to reposition here.
Ultimate Web trying to just wait to see if anyone would come around the corner so he could just blow them in the face with shotguns. Not going to end up happening here. And the defense, well, they've got a lot of their ultimates at the ready, just about everything actually, with the Primal Rage being cast here. As we do see Cherry User go, indeed took a ton of damage due to the Zenyatta Orb. And Wolf will fall. Endless has gone down before being able to cast Transcendence. And Ultimate Web tries to get the Death Blossom, but he will end up falling very quickly to the opponent's Death Blossom.
Yeah, Exion did get 3 kills. Even though Xe managed to Defensive Matrix eat a lot of those shells, it was a little too late, as 3 members died, including that Zenyatta. And Ultimate Web still on the Reaper there at about 80%. So you said that he died so fast, but that means that he gets to retain a little bit of his ultimate meter.
That's true. Well, we'll have to see. The Deadeye is being cast here as Jolson Looking for ZZA actually at 90% for his NI as well. And there goes the Transcendence. Everyone was very low here on the side for the defense, getting them topped off the Diva. Bomb flying on in. Actually going to get back into the mech right now and try to sustain through this and get ZZA and Endless.
Very sad Death Blossom there I just watched from Ultimate Web, as basically everyone just rounded the corner. There was a Transcendence active and a Defensive Matrix active, so he did about as little as you can do with a Death Blossom. But now he's just laying into this Winston. Easy kill there, as the rest of his team had basically fallen already. Reaper running up to the right side spawn. Does he know? Oh, he doesn't know that Zenyatta's there, because Zenyatta doesn't have footsteps. You have to have a really trained ear to hear Zenyatta coming around the corner, and so he misses the opportunity there. But the payload's still moving. Now it's contested as a Diva gets into place. Ultimate Web catches the sound barrier, trying to kill that Mercy now as she flies out there. She does pop the res in time to save the defense. 2 minutes left on the clock for this very last stretch.
Exion had Death Blossom, but just couldn't stay alive long enough to get it cast, and it looks like everyone here on the defense will get dismantled, and the time has been set.
Excellent stuff there from the side of One Shot. 6 minutes 13 seconds, they're saying. I'll take it. So I've got Snaz, this little nifty little program.
Yep.
Do you Snaz as well?
Yeah, I Snaz as well, and I'll have that on the stream for everyone to see.
Sick. Yeah, so it's a great little timer that you can download as well that lots of casters use, just because it kind of runs in the background and allows you to have these little text file outputs that you can put on XSplit or OBS if you're interested in doing that yourself. But we're going to flip sides here. Again, this is competitive mode, so it just does everything for us automatically. Remember, One Shot is up already in the series 1-0, and this is just a best-of-3 series to determine who will be playing in tomorrow's best-of-5. So tomorrow, again, we'll have 4 best-of-5s for the ESL Atlantic qualifier number 3 for NA. The teams that I'm expecting are One Shot, Selfless, Sodipop, and FaZe. We'll see if any of them actually don't make it through the top 8 tomorrow. But all the rest of the teams, I will be, definitely keeping an eye on to see who else might be contending for this. I won't say middle tier. I'll say it's still near the top tier of the region. But I gotta say, Envious, Luminosity, Cloud9, Northern Gaming, Code 7, they are kind of in a league of their own. I want to say Liquid also can take maps off of a lot of those teams, but then you've got kind of the 7th through 12th slots, I'll say, would be what we're looking at now.
So, Josh, I have to ask you right now. I want the speculation, and I want it clean. Code 7 was formerly Gale Force. They opted to leave that organization, and like you mentioned, they're very much a top team in North America.
Yeah.
I would guess that they're in contact with some other bigger organizations, but who would you think it is? We know for a fact, I just want to throw this one on there, that TSM was looking for a team.
So I actually have privileged information that I'm not willing to share at this moment. So unfortunately for all you guys, I can't say squat. I will tell you, though, that some organizations have asked me to get in touch with teams for them, including Complexity, Optic Gaming, TSM, a bunch of orgs that actually still do not have teams signed to them. So definitely, I'm hopeful that everyone manages to, get signed by orgs and stuff like that. But the truth is, how many of them are actually going to be sustainable? How will Overwatch bloom as an esport? I think all the changes that we've seen so far have been for the positive, especially with yesterday's patch. So I'm hoping that as the rule sets and competitive mode get fleshed out further and further, that more teams will see the value in the game and actually spend some cash to get these teams. It's not any small detail to get an Overwatch team, guys. You got to pay 6 players. That's more than a Heroes team. That's more than a LoL team. That's more than a Counter-Strike team. Like, it's more than basically anything except World of Tanks at this point. So it's a large investment. Even if you get the best team in the world like Envy's got currently, it's a lot of consideration to think about, especially moving forward. You would do a 6-month contract, 1-year contract. There's no World Championship announced for Overwatch yet. So there's a lot of variables still up in the air, but I think over the next year we're definitely going to see more orgs get into play here.
Alrighty, well, so far so good here on the side of our defensive One Shot. They're holding strong. They did end up spending the Earth Shadow during that last defense, but they still have Tactical Visor. They do have the Deni as well.
And
so many options on the table.
One tank on defense. No Zarya, no Diva, no Winston. Just that Reinhardt keeping the shield up for 5 people.
It's working out.
Yep, and the double support once again, not featuring a Mercy on now either side. This is the first time I've ever seen
with
this.
The sound barrier, looking to try to make something happen. We have Exion in the top, doesn't quite have that Dragon Blade yet, but actually getting behind the rider. Now has the Dragon Blade available, turning around. Transcendence has been cast there from Zenyatta. Exion in the house, just trying to stay alive as long as possible. The Death Blossom being cast, they're getting absolutely nothing there on the side of Ultimate Web, and he will end up going down. A good push from inside Joke.
Yeah, it looks like everything going on the side of the offense finally. I was watching Cherry User's POV there, and he got out of that Death Blossom so quickly. Now catching a pin from Reinhardt, not going to help things. But again, he launches himself out of there to safety, right into the waiting arms of Jay Olsen and his McCree to shoot him down. But the offense is actually doing really well now. Exion as that Genji, also sporting the Harmony Orb like we saw Ultimate Web doing. So these guys definitely happy. All the Genji mains so happy to have Zenyatta back in their lives.
I'm happy too, because I love watching Genji players.
Yeah, man.
So that fight, they opened it all up with a sound barrier. It went really well for Inside Joke. They actually have another sound barrier at the ready, and they captured that first point in pretty good time. And unfortunately, Joshy, I did not click start on the timer.
That's okay. I didn't either. So we've got, you know, some amount of time left. I know that it was about 1:44 remaining. There was 1:44 remaining at the very end of the map. So we will be able to just go on that if we need to. But Godhand dropping that sound barrier now, speed boosting everyone into play. Great moves there, actually. Exion and Winston both getting a lot of benefit out of that, leaping up onto that high ground and pushing the defense back even further. Jay Olsen falls. Finding that McCree and killing him is now like a huge priority for these teams, whereas it used to be you could let him kind of dink and dunk here and there, but now he is a straight murder machine in the right hand, so you have to get him out of play as fast as possible. There's the Lucio off by himself. Actually, some Lucio on Lucio combat there, but ZZA does get the killing blow, and we've got Inside Joke cruising toward that second checkpoint now.
Yeah, so ZZA played really well there. He had Transcendence going forward on his team, and he actually could have looked for a Deadeye, but instead he realized the Reaper flank was coming, turned around, got the flashbang, picked up the kill, and then turned around and ended up getting Lucio as well. So second checkpoint grabbed. 4 minutes on the clock per se, but you said 1:44 is what was in the bank at the end. So realistically, they have just over a minute left.
Yep, actually about 2 minutes now, right? Because they have 350. Yep. Okay, so let's say safely they have 2 minutes. We're not 100% sure, obviously, as we are both terrible casters and did not start our timer. But we got Exion up at a Dragon Blade level now, 98%. He will have it in just a matter of seconds. Here he does finally dive through and immediately pops it. Sees the Lucio with the Discord Orb, but gets a little bit greedy. Does not get the deflect up on Ultimate Web's Death Blossom fast enough. Ultimate Web cleans up there as the defensive Reaper. I'm actually going to watch his POV now as he chases them all the way back to spawn now. Has lots of juicy targets, Winston and D.Va right in front of him to just shoot away at. And now Exi back onto the Zarya, where he was on Soldier for the bulk of the Rhodes phase. You can see Zarya is going to be their better choice now. Chronic actually off of the Reinhardt onto the Winston. So definitely keep track of these changes for your own competitive play as well. You know, it makes sense to switch to the more close quarters combat once you're finally inside the hangar here.
Alright, the sound barrier has been cast here from Godhand, trying to enable the team to get on in there. We do have D.Va with her ultimate as well, but they take out Jolson early, so it's a good start here to the fight. Now the Primal Rage, Winston, and the Grappling Surge being cast here from one shot, pulling them all in on the point. Transcendence used here for the offense, Endless keeping them all standing strong. Big plays, but the Death Blossom coming in at the end of it all, getting some big kills there. Ultimate Web just getting Endless, but that's the Zenyatta, a lot less support. Godhand ends up falling as well, and Ultimate Web is just going to town without the Death Blossom.
Yeah, I was watching him as well. Exion has his Dragon Blade out now, but the Transcendence is just providing too much healing. Cannot find the critical hits, the critical kills that he needs, and 2 more end up falling. Exion and ZZA both go down in quick succession. So the attacking side really running out of time now. About 30 seconds left, roughly, to try and finish the map. I really don't think they're going to do it with any amount of contesting here from one shot. So we can go ahead and give them the mantle, in my opinion, but we're going to watch this play out. Ultimate Web trying to get some free shots on the Zenyatta. Actually in a little bit of danger here, but does have his Wraith Block available, so easily stays alive long enough to drop some shotgun shells into the Graviton Surge there. Finds a quick 3 kills with his teammates. Exion last man standing there. The GGs come out from Cherry User, and that is going to be our series, folks. One shot takes the series 2-0, and they will move on to Thursday's matches.